Welcome to Sleep Story. Let the soothing cadence of a story weave through your consciousness, lulling your body to rest and your mind to tranquility as you drift into dreams on the wings of imagination.
It is said that the person who offered the plan is the East China Sea Ku County people, surnamed Me, named Zhu, the word Zhejiang. This person's family is rich and powerful, tasted to Luoyang trading, ride the car and back. The road met a beautiful woman, came to ask for the same car. Zhu get off the walk, let the car and the woman to sit. The woman asked Zhu to ride with her. The woman asked Zhu to ride with her. Zhu got into the car and sat down, without looking at her. Rowing a few miles, the woman resigned. Farewell to the Zhu said, I am the south of the fire dexing June also, by God's edict, to burn your home. I feel that you have treated you with courtesy, so I told you clearly. You can quickly return, move out of the property. I will come that night, words and disappeared. Zhu was shocked, flew to his home. All the home quickly moved out. That night, a fire started in the kitchen and burned the house. Zhu therefore gave up his family's wealth to help the poor and the needy. Later, Dao Qian hired him as a special driver. On that day, he said, I would like to go to Beihai County and ask Kong Rong to raise troops to rescue him. And I have to go to Chakai's place in Qingzhou to ask for help. If the two armies and horses come together, the fucker will retreat. Qian from it, so he wrote to letters, asked to under the tent dare to go to Qingzhou to ask for help. A person answered willing to go. The people see is Guangling people, surname Chen, name Deng, word Yuan Long. Dao Qian first sent Chen Yuan Long to Qingzhou to finish, and then ordered Mi Zhu a book to the North Sea, his own rate of people to defend the city in preparation for the attack. But said the North Sea Kong Rong, word Wenhou, Liu Fu people, Confucius' 20th grandson, Taishan Lieutenant Kongzu's son. Since he was a child, when he was 10 years old, he went to visit Hananyan Li Ying. The doorkeeper was difficult, Rong said. I am Li Xiongtong's family. And into sea, Yong asked, your ancestors and my ancestors how close? Rong said, in the past, Confucius had asked a gift to the old man. Rong and June is not a family of generations. Ying was very surprised. A short while later, Chen Wei, the middle doctor, arrived. Ying pointed to Rong and said, this is a strange child. Wei said, he was smart when he was young, but he may not be smart when he was old. Rong immediately responded, as you said, the young will be smart. Wei and so on all laughed and said, this son grows up, will be the contemporary great weapon. Since then, he became famous. Afterwards, he became the general of Zhonglang and gradually moved to the governor of Beihai. He was very good to guests and often said, the seats are always full of guests and the bottles of wine are never empty. My wish, in Beihai 6 years, very popular. That day was sitting with guests. People reported Shuzhou Mi Zhu too. Rong please enter to see. Ask his intention. Zhu out Dao Qian book, said, Cao Cao attack the siege is very urgent, hope Mingong pendant rescue. Rong said, I and Dao Gongzhu friendship, Zhejiang and personally here, how not to go? But Cao Meng has no grudge against me, so I should first send a letter to resolve the peace. If he doesn't, then he will start the army. Zhu said, Cao Cao relies on his military might and will never make peace. Rong taught one side to order troops and the other side to send a letter. In the middle of the discussion, It was suddenly reported that tens of thousands of bandits from the Yellow Turbans, led by Wenhou, had come to kill. Kong Rong was greatly alarmed. Urgent point of this part of the men out of the city and the thieves to meet the battle. Tu Bohio said, I know the North Sea food wide can borrow 10,000 stone, even if the retreat. Otherwise, break the city, the old and young do not stay. Kong Rong shouted, I am a minister of the Han dynasty, guarding the land of the Han dynasty. How can there be grain and rice with the thieves? Tu Bohi was furious, pat horse dance sword, straight to Kong Rong. Rong will Zongbao quiet gun out of the horse. War not a few rounds, was Tu Bohi a knife, cut Zongbao under the horse. Kong Rong's soldiers were in great disorder and ran into the city. Guanhai divided his troops to surround the city on all sides. Kong Rong was depressed. Mi Ju harbors sorrows that are even more unspeakable. The next day, Kong Rong climbed to the city and looked away. The thieves are huge, adding to the worrying. Suddenly saw a man outside the city with a gun and jumped into the thieves' line, left and right, such as into no one's territory, until the city, shouting open the door. Kong Rong did not know him and did not dare to open the door. Thieves rushed to the edge of the trench. The man turned back and even thrust a dozen people off the horse. The thieves fell back. Rong urgent order to open the door to introduce. The man dismounted and abandoned his gun and went to the city to meet Kong Rong. Rong asked his name, said, a Donglai Huang County people, the name Toishi, name Ci, the word Zi. My mother has been very kind to me. Yesterday, I went home from Liaodong to save my family, and I learnt that thieves had invaded the city. My mother said, I've been deeply benefited by you. You should go to save me. So I came here on my own horse. Kong Rong was delighted. It turns out that Kong Rong and Tai Shai Ci, although they have not met, but know that he is a hero, because he is far out. There is an old mother living 20 miles away from the city. Rong often make people left with corn and silk. Mother feel wrong virtue, so on voice Ci to save. At that moment, Kong Rong treated Tai Shai Ci seriously and gave him clothes, armor, saddles and horses. Ci said, I would like to borrow 1,000 elite troops out of the city to kill the thieves. Rong said, although you are brave, but the bandits are very strong, not lightly out. Ci said, my mother felt that you are generous, especially since Ci. If you cannot solve the siege, Ci also have no face to see my mother, willing to fight to the death. Rong said, I heard that Liu Huangshu is the hero of the world. If you invite him to save this siege since the solution, only no one can make here, Ci said. Fu Jun repair the book. I will go in a hurry. Rongxi, repair the book to pay Ci. Ci home armor on the horse, belt bow and vector, holding iron gun, full of strict dress, the city gate open, a ride flying out. Near the trench, the thieves will lead the crowd to fight. Ci and thrust dead several people, through the siege and out. Guanhai knew that someone out of the city. I think it must be to ask for help. They led hundreds of riders to rush, surrounded on all sides. Ci leaned on his spear and shot arrows from all sides. All of them fell off their horses. The thieves did not dare to come after him. Tai Shai Ci was able to escape and cast himself into the plains to see Liu Huangshu. Salute, said Kong Beihai besieged to ask for help, presented a letter. Zhuanda read, ask Ci said. Foot who, Ci said. A certain Tai Shai Ci, the East China Sea of the despicable, also. and Kong Rong pro non-flesh and blood, than the non-countrymen, especially to the friendship, have the intention to share the worries and sufferings. Now the two Bohe riot, the North Sea is besieged, poor and alone, at stake. I heard that June benevolence and righteousness can save people in crisis, so specially ordered a front breakout, come to ask for a help. Zhuan de convergence of the face replied, Kong Beihai know the world has Liu Bei. He was with Yuan Chong, and Yuan pointing 3,000 troops to the Beihai county. Guanhai saw the rescue army came, personally led the troops to meet the enemy. Because of Zhuan De's small army, not think. When Zhuan De and Guan, Zhong, and Taishi Ci stood in front of the front line, Guanhai was furious and went out. Taishi Ci was about to move forward, but Yuan Chong came out early and took Guanhai directly. When the two horses met, the troops shouted. How could Guanhai defeat Yuan Chong? Between tens of rounds, the green dragon sword rose up and split Guanhai under his horse. Taishi Ci, Zhong Fei to riders out, double guns and raised, killed into the thieves. Zhuanda drove his troops to cover up the kill. Kong Rong on the city saw Taishi Ci and Guan Zhong rush to kill the thieves, such as tigers into the flock, across the Modong, then drove the troops out of the city. The two attack, defeated the group of thieves, descended countless, the remaining party scattered. Kong Rong greeted Zhuandi into the city. After the ceremony, set up a feast to celebrate, and cited me due to siege Zhuanda, said Zhong Lo to kill Cao Song. Now Cao Cao's army looting, surrounded Xuzhou, came to ask for help. Zhuandi said, Dao Gongzu is a gentleman, do not want to suffer this innocent injustice, Kong Rong said. You are a member of the Han family. Now that Cao Cao is brutalizing the people and relying on the strong to bully the weak, why don't you go with Rong to save him? Zhuanda said, I do not dare to refuse, but the army is small and few. I am afraid that it is difficult to move. Kong Rong said, Rong's desire to save Dao Gongzu, although due to old friendship, but also for the greater good. Gong is not only the heart of righteousness. Zhuandi said, in that case, please Wenju first, allow me to go to Gongsun Zan, borrow 3,000 or 5,000 men, then we'll come, Rong said. Please do not break your promise. Zhuandi said, why do you think I am like a human being? The Sun said, since ancient times, all have died. People without faith cannot stand. Liu Bei will definitely come in person if he can borrow the army or not. Kong Rong agreed. Teach me Ju first back to Xuzhou to report. Rong will pack up and set off. Taishi Ci thanked Ci mother's order to help. This is fortunate not to be in danger. There is Yangzhou assassin Liu Cao, and Ci the same county. There is a book to call. Do not dare not go. I will see you again. Rong was rewarded with gold and silk, but Ci refused to accept it and returned. When his mother saw him, she said joyfully, I am glad that you have to repay the North Sea. So she sent Ci to Yangzhou, not to say that Kong Rong rise to arms. Zhuandi left Beihai to meet Gongsun Zan and told him that he wanted to save Xuzhou. He said, Cao Cao has no grudge against you, so why do you have to do it for him? Zhuanda said, I have already made a promise, so I dare not break it. And he said, I'll lend you 2,000 of my horsemen. Zhuanda said, I would like to borrow Zhao Zilong's army. He said, I would like to borrow Zhao Zilong's army. The Zan promised to do so. Then Zhuanda and Guan and Zhong, the 3,000 men to the front, and Zilong led the 2,000 men to the rear, and came to Xuzhou. But Mi Ju reported to Dao Qian that Liu Huangshu had been invited to help him in Beihai, and Chen Yuanlong also reported that Cao Cao from Qingzhou had gladly led his troops to save him. It turns out that Kong Rong and Cao Cao's two armies were afraid of Cao Cao's fierce army, so they set up their fortresses far away from the mountain and didn't dare to enter lightly. When Cao Cao saw the two armies arrive, he also divided his army and did not dare to attack the city. But Liu Huangshu's army arrived and met Kong Rong. Rong said, "Cao Cao's army is big, and Cao Cao is good at using troops, so we can't fight lightly. And watch their movements, and then enter the army." Zhuangdi said, "But I am afraid that there is no food in the city. It is difficult to hold for a long time. Prepare to make Yun Chong, Zilong lead an army of 4,000 in the public department to help. Prepare and Zhong Fei killed Cao Camp and cast Xuzhou to see Dao envoy to discuss." Rong was delighted and joined Cao Cao as a hand. Yun Chong, Zilong led the troops on both sides to receive. On that day, Zhuangdi and Zhong Fei led 1,000 men to kill Cao's fortress. In the middle of the line, the fortress, a drum sounded, Hos army foot army, like a tide like waves, embracing out. One of the generals at the head was Yuan, strangling his horse and shouting, "Where are the maniacs?" "Go there," Zhong Fei saw, not to say, straight to take Yuan. The two horses intersected. The battle to a few rounds. Zhuangdi switched double-stranded sword banner troops into the big, Yuan defeated. Zhong Fei's current pursuit, until the city of Xuzhou. The two attack, defeated the group of thieves, descended countless, the remaining party scattered. Kong Rong greeted Zhuangdi into the city. After the ceremony, set up a feast to celebrate. And cited Mi Ju to siege Zhuangdi, said Zhong Lo to kill Cao Song. Now Cao's army looting, surrounded Xuzhou, came to ask for help. Zhuangdi said, "Dao Gongzu is a gentleman. Do not want to suffer this innocent injustice," Kong Rong said. "You are a member of the Han family. Now that Cao Cao is brutalizing the people and relying on the strong to bully the weak, why don't you go with Rong to save him?" Zhuangdi said, "I do not dare to refuse, but the army is small and few. I am afraid that it is difficult to move." Kong Rong said, "Rong's desire to save Dao Gongzu, although due to old friendship, but also for the greater good. Gong is not only the heart of righteousness." Zhuangdi said, "In that case, please Wenju first. Allow me to go to Gongsun, borrow 3,000 or 5,000 men, then we'll come," Rong said. "Please do not break your promise." Zhuangdi said, "Why do you think I am like a human being?" The Sun said, "Since ancient times, all have died. People without faith cannot stand. Liu Bei will definitely come in person if he can borrow the army or not." Kong Rong agreed. "Teach Mi Ju first back to Xuzhou to report. Rong will pack up and set off." Tai Shi Ci thanked Ci mother's order to help. "This is fortunate not to be in danger. There is Yangzhou assassin Liu Cao, and Ci the same county. There is a book to call. Do not dare not go. I will see you again." Rong was rewarded with gold and silk, but Ci refused to accept it and returned. When his mother saw him, she said joyfully, "I am glad that you have to repay the North Sea." So she sent Ci to Yangzhou, not to say that Kong Rong rise to arms. Zhuangdi left Beihai to meet Gongsun Zan and told him that he wanted to save Xuzhou. He said, "Cao Cao has no grudge against you, so why do you have to do it for him?" Zhuangdi said, "I have already made a promise, so I dare not break it." and he said, "I'll lend you 2,000 of my horsemen." Yuan said, "I would like to borrow Zhao Zilong's army." He said, "I would like to borrow Zhao Zilong's army." The Zan promised to do so. Then Zhuanda and Guan and Zhong, the 3,000 men to the front, and Zilong led the 2,000 men to the rear, and came to Xuzhou. But Miju reported to Dao Qian that Liu Huangshu had been invited to help him in Beihai, and Chen Yuanlong also reported that Chakai from Qingzhou had gladly led his troops to save him. It turns out that Kong Rong and Chakai's two armies were afraid of Cao Cao's fierce army, so they set up their fortresses far away from the mountain and didn't dare to enter lightly. When Cao Cao saw the two armies arrive, he also divided his army and did not dare to attack the city. But Liu Huangshu's army arrived and met Kong Rong. Rong said, "Cao Cao's army is big, and Cao Cao is good at using troops, so we can't fight lightly. And watch their movements, and then enter the army." Zhuandi said, "But I am afraid that there is no food in the city. It is difficult to hold for a long time. Prepare to make Yun Chong, Zilong lead an army of 4,000 in the public department to help. Prepare and Zhong Fei killed Cao Camp and cast Xuzhou to see Dao envoy to discuss. Rong was delighted and joined Chakai as a hand. Yun Chong, Zilong led the troops on both sides to receive. On that day, Zhuanda and Zhong Fei led 1,000 men to kill Cao's fortress. In the middle of the line, the fortress, a drum sounded, horse army, foot army, like a tide, like waves, embracing out. One of the generals at the head was Yuan, strangling his horse and shouting, "Where are the maniacs?" "Go there," Zhong Fei saw, not to say, straight to take Yuan. The two horses intersected. The battle to a few rounds. Zhuandi switched double-stranded sword banner troops into the big, Yuan defeated. Zhong Fei's current pursuit, until the city of Xuzhou. The envoy returned to Xuzhou, entered the city to see Dao Qian, and presented a letter, saying that Cao's troops had retreated. Qian was very happy, sent to invite Kong Rong, Chakai, Yun Chong, Zilong, etc., to go to the city assembly. After the banquet, Qian Zhuanda in the upper seat arched his hand to the crowd and said, "The old man is old. The two sons are not talented, cannot be the country's heavy responsibility. Liu Gong is the descendants of the imperial family, virtue wide, talent high, can lead Xuzhou. I would like to beg for leisure to recuperate." Zhuandi said, "Kong Wenju made Bei come to save Xuzhou, for righteousness. Now there is no reason to have it. The world will be prepared for the unrighteous people carry on." Miju said, "Now the Han dynasty is late. The sea is subverted. Tree success is at this time. Xuzhou is rich, household millions. Liu ambassador to lead this, cannot resign," Zhuandi said. "This matter will never dare to respond to orders." Chen Deng said, "Dao Fu Jun is sick, cannot see things. Ming Gong do not resign," Zhuandi said. "Yuan highway 4 times 3 gong, the sea returned. Nearing Shaochun, why not let the state?" Kong Rong said, "Yuan highway in the mound of dry bones. What is enough to worrying about? Today's matter, heaven and do not take. Regret cannot be traced." Zhuandi insisted on refusing. Dao Qian sobbed and said, "If you give me up and go, I will not die in peace." Yun Chong said, "Since the Dao Gong let brother and right to lead the state." Zhong Fei said, "It's not like I'm forcing him to take the state. He was kind enough to let me go, so why should he be so hard to say no?" Zhuandi said, "You want to trap me in injustice. Dao Qian pushed again and again. Zhuande just not. Dao Qian said, if Zhuande must not be willing to go from, this is near the euphony, called Xiaopei. Can be enough troops, please Zhuande temporarily stationed in this euphony, in order to protect Xuzhou. What do you think? All of them advised Zhuande to stay in Xiaopei. Zhuande obeyed. After Dao Qian had finished his labor, Zhao Yun resigned, and Zhuande waved goodbye with tears in his eyes. Kong Rong-Get also said goodbye and led the army back. Zhuande and Guan and Zhong led their troops to Xiaopei, repairing the city walls and telling the residents. Cao Cao back to the army. Cao Ren then said Lu Bu is powerful, more Cheng Gong as a supplement, Yanzhou, Puyang has been lost, and it's Yongcheng, Dongge, Fang County, 3 places, relying on Zunyu, Chengyu, to people designed to be connected to the death of the city. Cao said, I expect Lu Bu has courage, but no strategy, not enough to worrying about, teach and set up camp, and then discuss. Lu Bu knew that Cao Cao returned to the army, has passed Teng County, called the Vice General Zhu Lan. Li Feng said, I want to use you two for a long time. You can lead an army of 10,000 men to defend Yanzhou. I will personally lead the troops to break Cao. The two promised. Cheng Gong rushed in and said, General, you have abandoned Yanzhou. Where do you want to go? Bu said, I want to set up troops in Puyang, so that we can form a tripod. Gong said, not good enough. Zhu Lan will not be able to defend Yanzhou. The Taishan Mountain is 180 miles south of here, and the road is very dangerous, so we can put 10,000 elite soldiers there. When Cao's soldiers hear that they have lost Yanzhou, they will surely double their path and advance, waiting for them to cross the halfway point, and then they can be captured in a single blow. Bu said, I have a good plan for Puyang, but you don't know that. So he did not use Cheng Gong's words, but used Zhu Lan to guard Yanzhou. When Cao Cao's soldiers reached the dangerous Taishan Road, Guo Jia said, don't go in. I'm afraid there's an ambush here. Cao Cao laughed and said, Lu Bu is a fool, so he taught Zhu Lan to guard Yanzhou and went to Puyang, so he didn't think there would be an ambush here. Teach Cao Ren to lead an army to surround Yanzhou, and I will advance to Puyang to attack Lu Bu quickly. Cheng Gong heard that Cao's troops were approaching, and he said, Cao's troops are tired, so we can fight quickly, but we can't build up our strength. Lu Bu said, I am a horseman, so why worrying about Cao Cao? I'll capture Cao Cao when he comes down from his fortress. But Cao Cao's soldiers approached Puyang and settled down at the foot of the fortress. The next day, he led his generals out and set up his troops in the field. Cao Cao stood his horse under the flag of the gate and watched from afar for Lu Bu's soldiers to arrive. At the formation circle, Lu Bu came out first, with 8 generals lined up on both sides. The first one was from Moyi, Yanmen, surnamed Zhong, name Liao, character Wenhou. The second one was from Huayin, Taishan, surname Zhang, name Ba, character Zhuanggao. Each of the 2 generals led 3 more generals, Hao Meng, Cao Shai, Cheng Lian, Wei Su, Song Xian, Ho Cheng, Bu's army of 50,000, the sound of drums. Cao pointed to Lu Bu and said, I have no enmity with you since. How can you take my state and county? Cloth said, Han family cities, all people have a share, preferring to get. Then he told Zhang Ba to come out and fight. Inside Cao's army, Lejing came out to meet him. The 2 horses met each other, and the 2 spears were raised. They fought for more than 30 rounds, but the victory and defeat were indistinguishable. When Shah Hudan shot his horse to help him, Zhong Liao intercepted the fight on Lu Bu's formation. The LV Bu was so annoyed that he stood up with his halberd and rushed out of the lineup. Shah Hudan and Lei Jin all left. Lu Bu covered up and killed. Cao's army was defeated and retreated 30 to 40 miles. Cao Cao's army was defeated and retreated 30 to 40 miles. Cao Cao lost for a while and returned to his fortress to discuss with his generals. Yuan said, "I went up to the mountains today to watch. West of Puyang, Lu Bu has a fortress, about no more troops. Tonight, they will say that our army is defeated. Will not be prepared. You can lead the troops to attack. If you get the fortress, the cloth army will be afraid. This is the best strategy." Cao Hong, Li Dian, Mao Ya, LVCI, Yuan, Dian Wei 6 generals, choose horse and foot 20,000 people, night from the small road. But said Lu Bu in the fortress labor army. Chen Gong said, "West fortress is a critical place. If Cao Cao attacked, what to do?" Bu said, "He lost a battle today. How dare he come?" Gong said, "Cao Cao is a very skilled soldier, so we must guard against him attacking me." Bu then dispatched Gao Shun, Wei Su and Ho Cheng to guard the western fortress. Cao Cao led his troops to the western fortress at dusk and entered on all sides. The soldiers were unable to resist and scattered, and Cao Cao seized the fortress. As the night wore on, Gao Shun led his troops in and killed them. Cao Cao led his own army to meet Gao Shun, and the three armies fought in a chaotic battle until dawn, when the drums in the west sounded loudly, and it was reported that Lu Bu had led his own rescue force. Cao Cao abandoned his fortress and left. Behind Gao Shun, Wei Su, Ho Cheng rushed too. When the head of Lu Bu personally led the army came, Yuan and Lei Jin were unable to defeat Lu Bu. Cao looked north. Behind the mountain, an army came out, Zhong Liao on the left and Zhang Bo on the right. Cao makes LV Jie and Cao Hong fight against them, but they are not favorable. Cao looked west and left. Suddenly, there were shouts, and an army arrived. Hao Meng, Cao Shai, Cheng Lian, and Song Xian stopped them from walking. The generals fought to the death, and Cao was the first to charge. When the clapper sounded, arrows like rain came. Cao couldn't advance. There was no way to escape, shouting, "Who will save me?" Ha's army, a general danced out. Is Dian Wei also, hand-holding double iron halberd, shouted, "Lord, do not worry." Flying off the horse, inserted the halberd, take the short halberd 10 branches, held in the hand. Gu from the people said, "Thieves to 10 paces is to call me." So let go of the footsteps, risking arrows forward. Bu army dozens of riders chased too. From the people shouted, 10 steps ahead. Wei said, 5 steps is calling me. The follower said, 5 steps away. Wei's flying halberd stabbed. A halberd a person fell off the horse, and no false hair. Immediately killed more than 10 people, all ran away. Wei again flew on the horse, supporting a pair of big iron halberd, rushed to kill in two. Hao, Cao, Cheng, Song 4 generals cannot resist, each fled. Dian Wei dispersed the enemy and rescued Cao Cao. All the generals then arrived and found their way back to the fortress. When it was evening, there were shouts behind them, and Lu Bu came with his horse and halberd, shouting, "Cao Cao, don't go." At this time, people are exhausted. Everyone looks at each other, each want to escape. It is true. Although we can get out of the siege, we are afraid that we will not be able to withstand the pursuit of our powerful enemy. I don't know what happened to Cao Cao's life, but let's hear the details below.